Welcome back to Second Take. It's Vishwa here, and today I'm going to be discussing some significant problems the Boston Celtics have and why they are not at the top tier level yet. Before we get into the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. I promise you will not regret it, as only 1.3% of you guys watching are subbed. With that being said, let's get straight into the video. I know I did predict the Celtics to actually be as high as the third seed in the Eastern Conference, behind the Bucks and the Nets, but there definitely seems to be some problems I can't help but notice with the overall play of their game. As I covered in previous videos, the Celtics were supposed to be coming in the season looking extra dangerous, especially with their offseason free agent acquisitions like big man Tristan Thompson finally being a force on both ends of the floor, Jeff Teague, a solid veteran point guard, and their first round picks Aaron Nesmith and Peyton Pritchard. When you closely examine the Celtics squad, their offense is purely based on their extremely talented wings who are young stars Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, with all-star guard Kemba Walker being a third option. This brings me into the first reason why the Celtics aren't playing at the top level, and that's because of the absence of Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker has proven to be one of the best point guards in the game, as he's probably the greatest player to play for the Charlotte Hornets, but left knee problems are sidelining him from a return, and he's reportedly a long way from returning. Although many of you guys think that Kemba isn't even close to the all-star level he once played at, as it can be seen with his poor postseason performance in the bubble, a lot of it is due to his knee injury. As you guys can see right here, the impact of Kemba is very huge, and when you combine the talent of Tatum and Brown, Kemba's ability to create space for his own shot, and his overall offensive abilities as a scorer and playmaker are heavily needed to take pressure off of them. Losing Gordon Hayward was also very crucial, as he's another reliable option for scoring and playmaking, as look how good he's been with the Hornets in their first 3 games. Due to Hayward's departure, now all the offensive burden is falling on Tatum and Brown. Therefore, one problem is clearly depicted because of their loss of talent from Hayward and Kemba, thus overburdening Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum with the offensive load. The lack of additional offensive weapons is also clearly seen, as if you just watch the Celtics play, I'd say that 70% of their shots are taken by either Tatum or Brown, and primarily off of isolation. As you guys can see, these two guys have very high usage rates, both in the top 20. Tatum has a 33.2% rate, while Brown has a 30% rate. I completely understand that Brad Stevens' system is structured around these two guys, but I simply feel like he's overburdening them with too many isolation plays. For example, if you look at the way superstar small forward Kevin Durant plays on the Nets, there are multiple other guys to create their offense on the team, like Kyrie Irving, Karis LeVert, and Spencer Dinwiddie, so KD can be more of a team player and not ISO pretty much every time like Jason Tatum is doing with the Celtics. This was commonly seen in the Celtics-Nets matchup not too long ago, where Tatum was pretty much always having the ball, while the Nets were playing more like a team. This is what caused the Nets to blow out the Celtics not too long ago. This is what separates the Celtics from being a top-tier team like the Nets. To me, Brad Stevens has to start letting Jeff Teague take on some more offensive responsibilities, as I certainly feel like he's capable of being a decent enough third option. He's a solid veteran who knows the game very well in his 13-year career. His best stretch included his years with the Atlanta Hawks, where his best seasons during the 2013 to 2016 tenure saw him average about 16 points and 6 to 7 assists, thus proving what he is truly capable of offensively. He may not be at his prime anymore, and he's not Kemba, but using him as a third option seems better than having Tatum and Brown ISO every single possession. Marcus Smart doesn't seem like that great of an offensive player to me as far as shot making goes and isolating. He makes his mark primarily defensively and is much better playing off the ball and occasionally facilitating when needed. The other guys like rookie Peyton Pritchard, Daniel Theis, Robert Williams, Tristan Thompson, Grant Williams, and Semi Ojeleye, and others are just role players who rely on others for their offense. Another guy I'd like to see Brad Stevens put some trust in and develop much more is rookie Aaron Nesmith, who I am very high on. Nesmith may not be fully developed, but he can at least provide some good defense and make open shots. As I discussed in a previous video, he can start to take some of the more offensive burden if he develops more and is provided the opportunity. Finally, one last problem I'd like to point out are the ill-advised decisions the young guys Tatum and Brown, specifically Tatum, make in certain occasions, especially in the clutch situations. I know I may cause some disagreement with this, as Tatum did hit an insane game-winning bank shot on Giannis against the Bucks in the Celtics' first game, but like Paul George would describe, this this was a bad shot, and it was lucky that Tatum was able to bank in the three, but this luck doesn't last forever. As for instance, if you look at this shot Tatum takes against the Pacers for the win, there was absolutely no need to take a tough contested step back three when you only needed two for the win. Under Kobe Bryant, Tatum has pretty much perfected the art of the mid-range jumper, and that shot or getting something towards the basket would have been automatic to win the game. But due to his desire to play hero ball, and a lot of it also falls on head coach Brad Stevens for not using the last possession wisely, these mistakes are what separates the Celtics from being a top tier team. As you guys can see, according to Basketball Reference, Tatum is second in the league for shots attempted a game and has the most missed field goals so far. Jaylen Brown is also 5th in the league for attempted field goals and 10th in the league for missed field goals. Therefore, if the Celtics want to win more games, their offense can't be based on these two guys jacking up any shot whenever they want, but rather moving the ball better and playing more like a team and having role players like the emerging Peyton Pritchard, Grant Williams, Marcus Smart, and others take more shots. Or you can give the opportunity to others to create their own shot like I discussed with Jeff Teague or Aaron Nesmith, at least until Kemba Walker returns. With that being said, if the Celtics intend on being a title contending team and be able to compete better with the top tier teams like the Lakers, Nets, Clippers, Mavs, and so on, they need to play more as a team rather than having two guys do all the offensive work. As we've seen in the past, complete isolation plays do not win championships. The Celtics also have a great foundation of a near top 10 player in Tatum and near all-star Jaylen Brown. Kemba Walker also is really great when he's healthy, and he may not be at the level he once was due to injuries, but he's still terrific. And Tristan Thompson, they finally get a guy who can anchor the paint, and perhaps the league's best perimeter defender in Marcus Smart. If Brad Stevens can coach this team properly and develop the younger guys to much better players as well, this team definitely has the capability to be a contending team. With that being said, that's going to wrap it up. Let us know if you think the Celtics system needs to be changed and if they're going to be able to compete with their top tier teams. Please subscribe to the channel. I promise you will not regret it. Smash that like button. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.